Hi everyone, this is Laura Robinson from the Chattanooga Area Food Bank. This is the Garden Network video for May. I guess it's the middle of May at this point, 2024. I just want to walk around the garden and kind of show you guys where we are. I still have plants to give away. So if you are in need of anything, as I'm walking around, please let me know. I'm starting right here on the zucchini. I have, what types do I have? Green machine zucchini, golden zucchini, and desi squash. I'm going to be planting some of this out in our garden, but I will definitely have some left over. I also have a good amount of tomatoes. I have some little ones inside, and I'll show you the ones that I have outside. I am potting up more and more sweet potatoes. I know that Lisa, you are talking about needing some. Just kind of let me know what number of sweet potatoes you're looking for. Again, I'm planting some here. I need enough for 2 beds, but I think I'll have extra. And sorry, this is kind of jerking around. I'm keeping this going for a little bit because I know we can just keep planting sweet potatoes for a while. So I keep getting more and more slips. So just let me know if you're interested in that. It's just starting to drizzle out, so I'm going to probably go through this fairly fast. I did want to say, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but this green stalk planter that we got donated, and I put strawberries in it, is working out really well. I had strawberries in kind of a smaller vertical planter last year and they didn't do anything, and like this one's already flowering and fruiting, so that's exciting. We're just kind of transitioning from all the spring crops to summer crops. So like you can see, I still have collards, I still have a few beds of potatoes, I have garlic, I still have leeks, I still have Swiss chard and fava beans, but I'm starting to get some of the summer crops in. So just today I planted pole beans, which I have really become an advocate for pole beans over bush beans. I feel like that might be something someone wants to fight me on, but I really, really love pole beans. I just heard recently that pole beans are considered indeterminate, like tomatoes are, whereas bush beans are considered determinate. You get with bush beans just one kind of big flush, and pole beans will keep producing. And I've never thought about beans kind of in that way, but I thought that was interesting. As you can see here, I still have lots of plants to give away. Someone dropped off a donation yesterday, which looks really good. Sometimes I get some really scrappy plant donations. Tomatoes, some peppers, maybe a couple eggplant. I have a couple husk cherries left. Maybe some basil. I have kind of just a random assortment of stuff that I'm kind of trying to get through. I'm planting Jobs tears, if anybody's heard of that before. I think they're also called like Indian corn beans or something along those lines. If anybody has experience growing that, I'd love to hear about it. I still haven't gotten those in the ground, and I'm waiting to. I'm planting, and it's looking not the happiest, so I'm hoping it makes it, a plant called dwarf moringa. And moringa is a really fast growing medicinal, it's almost like a tree. I wouldn't even say a plant, it just grows really big. It almost looks like a tree, and most parts are edible. So we'll see what happens here. This actually might be on its way to dying, I don't know. I have cucumbers planted, various types. I planted a couple of different types of melon. These are supposed to be smaller size melons, so we'll see what happens. One is called Kajan, Kajan, and one is called Minnesota Midget, which I don't know if that's even PC to say, but there you go. That's what it's called. I'm planting this tall plant in the middle. It's called a sunchoke or Jerusalem artichoke. And the tubers are edible, and it produces these really pretty flowers. It's related to sunflowers. and it's my first time planting it here, so I'm very interested to see how that will do. I've also got some seeds from Slow Food USA, and I'm planting barley for the first time. No idea how that's gonna go, so we'll see. This one is called, nope, that's not it. I have tags that have stuff on both sides. Purple Karma barley. So the plants are cool anyway, so we'll see what happens. I have numerous nasturtium planted around. We're starting to get the pretty flowers, which are edible. The leaves are also edible. They're a little spicy. 2 beds of potato, or 3 beds of potatoes actually. And we still have fava beans, which is really one of my most favorite plants in the spring. I would love to hear if anybody else plants fava beans. Any tips or tricks, I would love to put together a little video, because I just think it's such a great fuss-free plant in the spring to get something highly nutritious and protein rich, which, you know, the spring's great for all of the great greens and root crops we get, but there aren't many opportunities to find a source of protein in the spring, plant-based protein. And so you can see in here, this is what the pods look like. They can be kind of a pain from what I understand, because you take them out of the shell or out of the pod, and then the beans on the inside then need to be kind of peeled again, so they almost have like a two-layer process to peeling them. So anyways, I'm going to experiment. I'm taking some home with me and going to make some today just to experiment with how to cook them. But again, if you have experience, please let me know. I'd love to hear. I have a honey nut squash here. I grew a whole bed last year, and I don't really feel like it's necessary to do that again, but it is a fun thing to grow. It's like a baby butternut squash, basically. They're really small and cute. So yeah, I'm trying that again. I'm also trying, I don't have a sign put up for this yet, but it's called a bush delicata. I'm hoping it does well in a container. If you're familiar with delicata squash, it's just the plant stays a smaller, like bush style, a bush habit, I guess. So, well, I'm interested to see what'll happen there. I have a couple of figs going here. This is a fall gold raspberry, which has just gotten ginormous since last year, or I guess since it grew back. They are so yummy. If you've never had them before, I highly recommend planting some. If you would like, I have a couple of extra suckers kind of popping up in here, and I think there's a couple in the back. So if you are interested in taking a plant and trying it yourself, please let me know. I'm not 100% sure when the best time is to take suckers. I've never done that before. So we'll have to do a little research to see when we should do that, but I definitely will have multiple suckers to give away. I finally got some blackberry plants in here, and they're blooming already, which is great. I also just put in some other random stuff in this bed, a couple of Roma tomatoes, a couple of nasturtium, and also a snake gourd, which, if you've been watching my videos since last year, the snake gourd is a huge gourd. You can eat it fresh, kind of like a zucchini. It doesn't have much flavor to it. Or you can dry it and hollow it out, which I have some of those as well. It's just a really cool plant. And I have this ginormous trellis for it because it will just like go everywhere. It was so huge last year. I have multiple beds of peppers going on. I'm trying this new one this year called Buena Mulata. It's a spicy pepper, and it has this really pretty, you can see that, purple flower. I have a bed of, let's see, are these, yeah, these are slicing type tomatoes, Mountain Magic, And there were a couple other types in here. Brandywine maybe? Mountain Magic I've heard as a recommendation as a good tomato, so we'll see. I have a couple other beds of peppers. I have Shishito, which when I grew them a couple of years ago, they produced for just ever. They were such a great pepper. And then I have jalapenos, which hot peppers usually produce better for us here than sweet peppers. I also have another bed of cucumbers, which have been nibbled by, I'm guessing it's the groundhog that has been in here. So I just put netting over this to see if I can save some of these cucumbers that have been nibbled down. I have one eggplant growing. I never have great luck with eggplant, so I didn't want to dedicate a whole bed to it. But we'll see how it does in this container. Like I said, I have garlic, Swiss chard, more Swiss chard. Oh, I have, oh, here are my husk cherries. I only have 3 in a bed because these husk cherry plants get huge. If you have never had husk cherries before, I recommend looking them up. They're also called ground cherries. They produce, if you're familiar with tomatillos, almost they look like little tiny yellow tomatillos, and the fruit is delicious when it's ripe. I have a bed of leeks over here, which are now going to seed, which I don't know what that necessarily means for a leek. I guess that means I need to pull it out. But I've never seen leeks do this before. So anyways, I'll probably pull these leeks out soon anyways to put some other summer vegetables in here. So it's probably good timing. I also have some borage growing around the garden. If you have never grown borage, you really only need to plant it once and then it just reseeds itself everywhere, which is, you know, good or bad. I love it. I think they're really pretty. They're good for pollinators. Some people like to eat the leaves, but they're really kind of hairy. So I don't know, maybe people like boil them down and eat them. But I just like having them for ornamental reasons. Then I have a few other little things kind of here and there. I don't even remember what. I know that there's, oh, a candy roaster squash I have here to grow over the trellis. I have some other cucumbers down over there to grow over the trellis. And this mystery one, which I cannot remember what I planted there, to grow over this trellis. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, I think that is probably about it. That's most of the things that are growing in the garden. Lots of herbs. Hopefully, you know, fingers crossed that things do well. Usually, most summer things do okay for us, except cucumbers. It seems like cucumbers, there's always an issue. So I'm crossing all my fingers for the cucumbers. I think that's about it. I'd love to hear how things are going for you guys. If you need plants, if you need seeds, or anything else that I've talked about in this video, please reach out and I will talk to you all soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.